If you're noticing more hair in the shower, on your pillow, or your hairline creeping back, this is your wake-up call. Hair loss isn't just about vanity. It's a sign your body is out of balance. This 30-day protocol helped me stop the shedding without drugs, surgery, or snake oil. If you've tried everything and nothing worked, this could be the solution you're missing. Before I outline the 30-day protocol, I need to briefly go over the 4 main causes of hair loss. Number 1 is chronic inflammation. Hair loss starts with inflammation of the follicle bulge, where stem cells live. Studies show increased inflammatory levels of IL-6, TNF-alpha, and oxidative stress markers in balding scalps. The main causes: seed oils, processed sugars and refined carbs, insulin resistance, nutrient deficiencies, all of which we'll tackle during the 30-day protocol. It's important to know your scalp isn't dying, it's inflamed and starved. The second main cause of hair loss is hormonal imbalance. It's not just DHT, it's how your cells respond to hormones. High insulin, high cortisol, low thyroid equals smaller follicles. So fasting, balancing blood sugar, and liver detox support proper hormone clearance, which again, that'll be part of your protocol. The third main cause is mitochondrial decline. Follicles are energy hungry. Mitochondrial dysfunction equals stalled growth. Research shows mitochondrial antioxidants like CoQ10, PQQ, and being in ketosis revive follicle stem cells. The fourth is nutrient deficiencies. Common deficiencies linked to hair loss include zinc, vitamin D, biotin, copper, ferritin, collagen, and B vitamins. You can't grow healthy hair from a nutritionally bankrupt body. This brings us to your 30-day hair regeneration protocol. The first phase is phase 1. The first week, days 1 through 7. Here's what I would suggest. First thing we need to do is stop the shedding. So the goal here is to lower inflammation, boost scalp circulation, and switch follicles out of danger mode. So here's your morning routine for the first 7 days. You want to wake up in the morning. First thing, you want to hydrate with water, electrolytes, and trace minerals upon waking up, because hair is 25% water by weight. You want to incorporate 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar diluted with water before your biggest meal of the day to stabilize insulin. You also want to do red light therapy directly on the scalp for 10 minutes. So if you have a red light device, a red light lamp or panel, put it right on the scalp 10 inches away for 10 minutes. You could also go outside and let the sun hit your scalp for 20 minutes. This increases ATP energy output in those follicles. Now, before I move on to your nutrition focus for the first week, I'm going to share this. I'll be mentioning products like the red light lamp and different supplements and products. I'm going to put all the products that I personally use and recommend for my clients in the notes down below. So make sure you check all that out if you want to use any of the products that I use and recommend. Your nutrient focus the first 7 days will be the following. The goal is to remove inflammatory foods. The highest one out there is going to be seed oils, vegetable oils. These are processed fats. Here's 8 of them with a bonus number 9 that will shock you. The 8 fats you want to remove or limit as much as possible include canola oil, called rapeseed oil in the UK, corn, cottonseed oil, sunflower, soybean, safflower oil, rice bran oil, grapeseed oil, and here's the shocker, fish oil, also inflammatory. You want to swap those bad fats for healthy fats that lower inflammation. These include saturated fats and monounsaturated fats, butter, ghee, beef tallow, coconut oil, duck fat, olive oil, and avocado oil. Then you want to add in healthy omega-3 fats like EPA and DHA through your diet, not supplementation. This includes small, wild-caught fatty fish, anything from the SMASH acronym you want to consume 2 to 3 times per week. The SMASH acronym is as follows: sardines, mackerel, anchovies, salmon, and herring. I would also encourage you to add in 1 or 2 scoops of a high-quality, grass-fed collagen protein peptides. This is something you want to have daily for keratin building blocks. And lastly, for nutrition, you want to aim to consume 1 gram of protein per pound of your ideal body weight. Meaning, if your ideal body weight, your goal weight is 160 pounds, aim to consume 160 grams of protein per day. The next part of your first phase here, the first week, is topical support. 3 times a week, you want to do a scalp massage for 5 minutes with rosemary oil. I use the one from doTERRA. I'll drop a link for it down below. It's shown to rival 2% minoxidil in certain studies. In addition to that, you want to incorporate once a week of micro needling using a derma roller that is 0.5 millimeters to boost growth factors and blood flow. Lastly, here for the first week is supplement support. zinc, 15 milligrams per day, vitamin D3 with K2, 5,000 international units per day, and then biotin, if you take it from a supplement, about 2,500 micrograms per day. Ideally, you'd like to get it in your diet from eggs with yolk and even beef liver. This brings us to phase 2, days 8 through days 21. This is the regrow and the rebuild phase. The goal here is to reactivate follicle stem cells and strengthen new hair shafts. You're going to do it by doing the following. You'll continue doing everything in phase 1. Now you're going to add the following. Here are your morning add-ons. First, stay fasted in the morning for 2 to 3 hours after waking up. This boosts autophagy, which is the cellular cleanup process, and increases human growth hormone. So delay your breakfast 2 to 3 hours. Second thing is cold exposure. You could do cold exposure by jumping in a cold body of water, jumping in a plunge, doing cryotherapy, or even taking a cold shower. The goal is for that water to be cold enough to make you shiver, and you want to be in that shivering state for about a minute, 3 times a week. If you don't have that as an option, you could get an ice pack, put that on your scalp for 10 minutes, 3 times a week. Cold shock proteins activate stem cells. Yeah, the same ones that make new hair grow. Your midday routine, which will be kind of morning time before noon, is going to be to drink high quality green tea or a high quality black coffee with your first meal. I'll drop links for the ones I use, but I think it's important to get those healthy polyphenols in high quality coffee or green tea to lower DHT locally. I also recommend you add 1 serving of beef liver or oysters once per week, which is high in copper and zinc. Lastly, eat more protein and fat, less carbohydrates. You want to keep your glucose and insulin levels low, which help to balance hormones that block growth. So in general, you want to keep your total carbohydrates under 100 grams of carbs every single day. Lastly here, before we move on to phase 3, are hormonal and mitochondrial boosters. You might want to consider adding in PQQ, about 10 to 20 milligrams per day, and CoQ10, 100 milligrams per day, to support mitochondrial regeneration. I'll drop a link for the 2 companies that I use for that. And lastly, go for a 15 to 30 minute walk after your biggest meal of the day to improve insulin sensitivity and nutrient delivery to the scalp. Now let's move on to your third phase, days 22 to days 30. The goal here is to maintain new growth, thicken existing strands, and support long-term balance. So you're going to keep doing what you already have been taught in phase 1 and 2. Now you're going to add on the following. First thing is to focus on lifestyle and mindset. Aim to get 7 to 8 hours of high quality sleep in complete darkness in a cold bedroom. Studies show about 65 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit is where you get a boost in melatonin, which directly boosts hair follicle stem cell activity. The next thing is to get vitamin G every single day. Lowers cortisol, which reduces shedding. Vitamin G is vitamin gratitude. Practice, feel gratitude every single morning. And then the last thing here with lifestyle is to limit, even better, avoid alcohol, at least for these 30 days. Alcohol depletes zinc, B vitamins, which increases estrogen load. Not good if you're trying to regrow your hair. The next thing here is your weekly recovery stack. I would add in 1 to 2 longer fast every single week. What do I mean by a longer fast? I would do a 24-hour water fast once or twice a week. This triggers more of that autophagy, cellular cleanup, and human growth hormone, and overall healing. On top of that, 3 times a week, you want to do resistance training, strength training, whether it's body weight or with weights, to boost testosterone and IGF-1 production. And the last thing here is to add in heat therapy, like a sauna session, at least once a week for 30 minutes to activate heat shock proteins that strengthen keratin. I would also recommend you add in high quality collagen-rich foods like bone broth, which is going to be great amino acid support. So find a high quality bone broth. I'll put a link for the one I use in the notes down below, or make your own bone broth for high quality collagen. That's the protocol, but I really want you to understand the science behind why I put this together. Okay, rosemary oil. A 2016 study showed it performed just as well as minoxidil after 6 months with fewer side effects. That's why it's part of your protocol. Mitochondrial antioxidants like CoQ10 and PQQ enhance stem cell regeneration in aged follicles. And then a 2020 study showed red light therapy increased hair density by 51% after just 16 weeks. Now, remember, hair loss didn't happen overnight. It's your metabolism's report card. Follow this 30-day reset as your foundation, then repeat it in cycles. The goal isn't just more hair, it's to fix the root cause so it never comes back. I recommend you take photos day 1, day 30, continue this protocol, and see the before and the after. Now I'm going to address the questions you submitted on this topic. Before I do, I want to give you a free resource to enhance what I just shared with you. This is called the world's easiest breakfast diet. This is important. If your belly fat hasn't moved in months, even though you've been doing everything right, it's not your fault. You've been lied to. The real problem, visceral fat, insulin resistance, metabolic dysfunction, and no one's shown you how to fix it until now. This free 7-day guide flips your fat burning switch on with 0 calorie counting, 0 guesswork, and meals so simple it feels like you're cheating. This is your body's reset button. If you're sick of starting over, click the first link in the description box below, if you're watching on YouTube, scan the QR code on the screen, download it for free, and take back control. This isn't just a diet, it's the last one you'll ever need. Now let's get to your questions. Can hair follicles that have been dormant for years actually grow back with this protocol? Some cases yes, some cases no. This is not going to work for everyone, but it will work for most people. So the only way to know is to give it a shot. Take before and afters, do it consistently. I've seen it work for most people, but there are always exceptions, and that's where you want to explore other modalities. How long before I start seeing visible regrowth or reduced shedding? Now, you should notice some slight changes within the first 30 days. After about 90 days, you should notice significant changes. Does this 30-day routine work for both men and women? Yes, 100%. What if hair loss is genetic? Will this still help? Yeah, it's hard to overcome that genetic component, but there is a factor of epigenetics. So the protocol will help either way. There are no side effects to it. I would still give it a shot, even if hair loss is genetic. Once my hair starts regrowing, do I need to keep doing this routine forever? Not the full protocol, but you want to live in an anti-inflammatory state. So you still want to avoid the seed oils. You still want to limit or avoid alcohol. You still want to get quality sleep. You don't have to be as diligent with the supplements, the red light, the scalp massages, but some of the lifestyle tips that I shared here, I would do that for the remainder of your life because it's only going to help your body, your longevity, your energy, and your health. I hope this was helpful. Share it with somebody you know going through this situation. Hopefully it helps them. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And hey, if you love this lesson, I want to share something else with you. I just published a video that's going viral on the 5 water bottle brands that I would never drink, and then the 3 brands that I do drink that will not poison you. So I outline the 5 worst, the 3 healthiest. You got to check out this new video. Here is a clip from that lesson. Then click the video on the screen and I'll see you there. You must stop drinking these today. This isn't just about hydration. This is about toxicity hiding in plain sight. Now, before I reveal the 7 bottled water brands that I avoid altogether and the 5 healthier options, I want you to understand that quality matters. Most bottled waters test positive for something called PFAS. These